Hello everyone, you have come to Tata Comic Preview channel. Let read together. Have fun. Zhu Honggong felt awkward. Shouldn't both of you decide? Why do I suddenly have to decide? Old 8th, how's your cultivation base? Lu Zhou asked. 3-leaf. Zhu Honggong replied sheepishly. That's not worth a mention in the Evil Sky Pavilion, but for the people outside, being able to recultivate to the 3-leaf stage is a commendable feat. If you leave, I'm afraid that you'll be missing out on a bright future. If you stay in the Evil Sky Pavilion, your future achievements won't be inferior to mine, Lu Zhou slowly said. Think carefully about this. I won't stop you. Zhu Tianyuan. Why did this statement sound a little wrong? Were they not going to let his son decide for himself? Upon hearing this, Zhu Honggong said, Master, I don't have a big ambition. All I want is to live a stable and uneventful life. Now that the beasts are invading, and the humans racing to sever their lotuses, it's going to a survival of the fittest. I can understand your wish of wanting to lead a stable life, but do you have the ability to do that? Lu Zhou asked. Zhu Honggong had no way to refute his master's words. Even when he left the Evil Sky Pavilion in the past, he had relied on Wuya and Zhenghai to live a peaceful life. How could he manage on his own? When Lu Zhou saw Zhu Honggong keeping quiet, he said, That's all I have to say. You can make your choice. There was a heavy meaning behind Lu Zhou's words that was not lost on Zhu Honggong. His master meaning was if he chose to leave, he would no longer be a disciple of the Evil Sky Pavilion. Lu Zhou closed his eyes again as if nothing had happened. His expression was calm. Zhu Tianyuan felt that something was amiss after listening to Lu Zhou's words. It felt as though his son was being led astray. Zhu Tianyuan was about to speak up when Zhu Honggong suddenly prostrated himself in front of Lu Zhou and said, Master, I've never thought about leaving the Evil Sky Pavilion. Zhu Tianyuan. Was this person really his son? How could his son forget everything they discussed beforehand? Lu Zhou nodded in satisfaction. He opened his eyes to look at the duo and said, Naturally, I'm happy that you chose to stay. As for the ancient saint cult, it's meaningless whether you inherit it or not. Brother G. Indeed, the ancient saint cult can't compare to the Evil Sky Pavilion, but. No buts. Zhu Honggong has made his decision. Although you're his biological father, you should still respect his choice, Lu Zhou said. Ah. Who says that I'm not respecting his choice? This? Zhu Tianyuan felt like crying. I respect my son's choice, but what will happen to my ancient saint cult from now on? Should I hand it over to someone else? Zhu Tianyuan was reluctant. Zhu Honggong kowed out at Zhu Tianyuan and said, I'm sorry, father. I'm an unfilial son. You can't be blamed for this. I can only blame myself. Zhu Tianyuan shook his head and sighed. Lu Zhou looked at Zhu Tianyuan and said, Why are the others looking to take over your ancient saint cult? They're trying to seize the opportunity. No. The reason is you're too weak. Being weak was the original cause. Those who fell behind would naturally be picked on. This was a truth that did not change since time immemorial. If Zhu Honggong returned with you, can he change the ancient saint cult situation? Lu Zhou asked. If an 8-leaf cultivator could not do anything, what could a 3-leaf cultivator do? As though hit by a sudden realization, Zhu Tianyuan said, Thank you for the reminder, Brother G. My sights have been too narrow. He could just spread the news that his son was a disciple of the Evil Sky Pavilion. That way, nobody would look down on the ancient saint cult. Zhu Tianyuan smacked his thigh and exclaimed inwardly, Why didn't I think of this earlier? Thank you, Brother G. You've enlightened me. That'll be all. The two of them left respectfully and closed the door behind them. Lu Zhou continued trying the lucky draws. Lucky draw. Ding. Spent 50 merit points and 1 luck point. Obtained, reversal card x5. Throughout the next month, Lu Zhou spent his waking hours cultivating and trying his luck at the lucky draws. During the second month, Rongxi and Rangbei were attacked by beasts. The other tribes of Rongbei were powerless to fight back. They migrated elsewhere. The 5 nations of Rongxi formed another alliance to repel the beasts. There were more locations in Great Yan's 9 provinces that were attacked by the beasts as well. Fortunately, the barriers in the human cities blocked most of the calamities. At the same time, this pushed the efforts to improve the formations in the divine capital. The human cultivators were working together as well. Many cultivators of various sects voluntarily applied to join the 2 academies. Some of the sects requested to join the Evil Sky Pavilion as well in search of security. Yet, they were all turned away by the Evil Sky Pavilion. In the Eastern Pavilion of the Evil Sky Pavilion. Master, that's the 5th sect today requesting to join the Evil Sky Pavilion. That sect has never joined the 10 great sects in the past. Do you think? Mingshi started to say. Lu Zhou shook his head. The quality of the troops is more important than the quantity. The 3 sects have sent emissaries as well. They wish to forge a good relationship with us. They're major sects. The 3 sects have many restrictions and an abundance of elites. They're in no short supply of allied forces, but the method to attain the 9-leaf stage, Lu Zhou said. Mingshi nodded. Understood. Tell the others that I'm not to be disturbed tomorrow. I feel dizzy, Lu Zhou said. Understood. Mingshi was puzzled. How could his 9-leaf master feel dizzy? However, he did dare to press and retreated obediently. Lu Zhou checked the dashboard again. Merit points, 22,893. Throughout the past month, he did 400 lucky draws. How could he not feel dizzy? However, he was satisfied with the results. He obtained 125 reversal cards, 1 shining stone, and 3 refining talismans. He had 190 reversal cards now, but that was far from enough. Generally, obtaining reversal cards through lucky draws was better than purchasing them directly. He was in no hurry to earn the merit points. He decided to attempt them before anything else. If he was lucky, he might get some grand prize. Meanwhile, in the Thousand Willow Monastery in the Red Lotus domain. Like always, Yu Shangren leaned against the railing and looked out at the forest. Big brother, these are the most powerful sects of Great Tang. However, the most popular ones lately are the Flying Star House and the Sky Martial Court. They're recruiting many disciples and have produced many talented cultivators, Ji Fengxing said. Did anything special happen lately? Yu Shangrong asked. Not really. However, it's said that a mysterious saber user has appeared in Wanghua City. He's elusive, and an elite of 9th Temple has been gravely injured by this saber user. I don't think that he'll last long. I suspect that it's the Flying Star House's doing, Ji Fengxing said. A mysterious saber user? It was common knowledge that the Flying Star House and the 9th Temple were on bad terms. The Flying Star House had been losing many of its numbers lately. It was only natural for them to shift and vent their anger on the 9th Temple. The Flying Star House has sleeping dragons and crouching tigers. It's not surprising for them to have a saber user or 2, but this saber user has a special characteristic. Ji Fengxing said with a smile, he's a saber user, but he carries a sword scabbard with him. Isn't that strange? Big brother, do all elites have some eccentric preference or something? Take you, for example, you like to use a rag to wrap your. He trailed off before he hastily added, brother, don't give me that look. I was wrong. At this moment, a disciple came flying down the mountain. He stood outside the gazebo and said in a clear voice, Ji Fengxing, Miss Wu Wu, the elder has invited the 2 of you up the mountain for a talk. Ji Fengxing was slightly taken aback. He hastily looked up and asked, why did he summon me? I'm an external disciple. Elder Tian has told you to bring the guest up the mountain. He won't accept a refusal. Ji Fengxing was shocked. However, he knew they could not avoid this. He remembered Yu Shangrong's feat of cutting down 4 Flying Star House disciples in the past. With a slightly worried tone, he said, Big brother, you should run for your life now. The Flying Star House will come and investigate the Thousand Willow Monastery sooner or later. I don't think we'll be able to escape this calamity. Yu Shangrong seemed surprised. With a small hint of admiration, he asked, "Aren't you afraid?" "I am, but what good would that do? I'm not like you, big brother. I can't roam about unfettered with a sword," Ji Fengxing said with a sigh. "It's just as you said, we won't be able to escape if it's a reckoning. There's no need to worry. I'm right here." Yu Shangrong stepped out of the gazebo. "Big brother. We can't afford to offend the Flying Star House," Ji Fengxing said with a bitter expression on his face. Yu Shangrong stood outside the gazebo. He turned around and smiled faintly as he asked, "Why can't we? The Flying Star House has 2 9-leaf cultivators. Also, the housemaster is mysterious and unfathomable. He doesn't show himself often. Yi Zhen is injured from killing the Luan. Even so, nobody is bold enough to strike him," Ji Fengxing said. At this moment, Wu came flying back from a nearby rock. She landed near the gazebo and said, "Big brother, you mustn't go." "You think so too? The people from the Flying Star House are here to investigate Lu Song's death. If they find out anything about this, you won't be able to escape. Big brother, I'll bring you down the mountain," Wu said as she made her way to Yu Shangrong's side. Yu Shangrong flashed a faint smile and said, "The little Flying Star House isn't enough to frighten me. If my master is here, even Yi Zhen will have to avoid him." Ji Fengxing was shocked to hear this. He recalled Yu Shangrong's words. There were 4 types of swords. The commoner's swords, the lord's sword, the king's sword, and the swordless state of using everything as a sword. If the big brother was only using the lord's sword, how powerful was his master then? It was no wonder that big brother was this calm and composed. It seemed like he was never surprised by anything. He did not even think much of the Flying Star House. It seemed like he had a truly powerful supporter. "Good. I'll go with you, big brother." Ji Fengxing patted his chest. Wu. In the end, the trio flew up the 1,000-Willow Mountain. When they were halfway up the mountain, where the sect buildings were, they descended slowly. 2 disciples were already waiting for them. "This way." Under the guidance of the 1,000-Willow Monastery disciples, they passed through several side courts and arrived at the attendant hall of the sect. When they entered the hall, Ji Fengxing hurried ahead and fell to one knee as he said, "Greetings, Elder Tian. The disciple, Ji Fengxing, greets you." Tian Buji was one of the managing elders of the 1,000-Willow Monastery. He oversaw many affairs and had a high status. Wu did not kneel. Instead, she cupped her fists. Yu Shangrong was the only one standing with his arms crossed with his back straight as he looked at Tian Buji. To Tian Buji's left, there was a middle-aged man in Taoist robes. There were 2 Taoist apprentices standing behind him. One of them carried a horsetail whisk while the other carried a sword. The scabbard was adorned with the Taiji 8 trigrams. Tian Buji waved his hands and said, "This is the Flying Star House's Taoist master Xianming. Aren't you going to greet him?" "Greetings, Taoist master Xianming," Ji Fengxing and Wu said in unison. Yu Shangrong remained silent. He shifted his gaze from Tian Buji to the Flying Star House's Xianming. After some probing, he confirmed the person was a nascent divinity realm elite. Tian Buji looked at Yu Shangrong. He was puzzled when he saw Yu Shangrong made no move to kneel or greet him. Although the 1,000-Willow Monastery was not as glorious as it was in the past, Tian Buji had a pair of discerning eyes when it came to recognizing talents. He could tell that this man's temperament was not cultivated overnight. Hence, he did not insist on the elaborate etiquette. Instead, he turned to Taoist Master Xianming and said, "Wu is here. Taoist Master Xianming, you can speak to her. If she's willing to go with you, I won't stop her." Taoist Master Xianming stole a glance at Yu Shangrong. He was not concerned about his attitude. Instead, he looked at Wu and smiled. "Miss Wu, Elder Lu Song has made his intentions clear before this. The Flying Star House is recruiting talents. If you're willing to join the Flying Star House, I'll certainly recommend you to the housemaster to become his direct disciple. I wonder if..." Before he could finish, Wu interrupted him and said, "I'm not going. I've told you many times before. You guys are so annoying. Taoist Master Xianming frowned at the direct refusal. Tian Buji smiled brightly and said, I'm sorry. Wu Wu has made her stance clear. You should leave now, Taoist Master Xianming. Taoist Master Xianming shook his head and said, we'll leave Miss Wu Wu's matters aside for now. I have another objective for coming here. I hope you can give me an explanation, Elder Tian. What's this about? Elder Lu Song's life stone has shattered. Something happened to him. His 3 disciples were killed as well. It just so happens that we found their bodies near the Thousand Willow Mountain. A hint of hostility crept into Taoist Master Xianming's voice now. Ji Fengxing's eyes widened. He lowered his head, feeling uneasy. They found them. The disciples of the Flying Star House have runes inscribed on their bodies. Unless they're completely shattered, we can find them even if they're hidden at the ends of the world. Tian Buji frowned and said, Taoist Master Xianming, are you suspecting us? Xianming said, the bodies are proof. With Elder Lu Song's cultivation base, how can you not notice such a huge commotion? I deeply regret Elder Lu's passing, but this has nothing to do with the Thousand Willow Monastery. I hope you'll investigate this properly, Taoist Master, Tian Buji said as he tried to suppress the anger welling up in his heart. Tian Buji. I suspect you're the culprit. Xianming raised his voice and said. Although the Thousand Willow Monastery was not as glorious as it once was, Tian Buji was not someone who would let another person humiliate him. He retorted, that's a vicious lie. The Flying Star House has always abided by the rules. 3 of ours have died at your doorstep. How are you going to explain this? Taoist Master Xianming went on the offensive. Both of them rose to their feet and glared at each other. At this moment, Yu Shangrong, who had been silent all this while, said, if I may have a word? Tian Buji and Taoist Master Xianming looked at Yu Shangrong at the same time. Taoist Master Xianming said, who are you? Yu Shangrong said tonelessly, my identity isn't important. It's true that the deaths of the 3 disciples of the Flying Star House have nothing to do with Thousand Willow Monastery. How do you know? I witnessed it myself, Yu Shangrong replied. And I'm supposed to take your word for it? Who's the culprit? Where is he now? Taoist Master Xianming demanded. It's just as you said. You'll have to take my word for it. Yu Shangrong's attitude, tone, and mannerism, all of them crushed Taoist Master Xianming's momentum. Since you know the culprit, I must ask you to come with me, sir. Taoist Master Xianming stepped forward. My apologies. Yu Shangrong's tone flattened. However, it was still polite and humble. I have no obligation to do that. That wasn't a request. Taoist Master Xianming turned around and drew his sword. The sword buzzed as it left the Taiji scabbard. Alas, before He Shuangming could extend his hand out, Yu Shangrong had already drawn his sword at a far greater speed. From his left shoulder, he swung the sword to his right. Bam! The swords clashed. Yu Shangrong remained where he stood. His sword was sheathed again. Taoist Master Xianming did not expect Yu Shangrong to suddenly attack. He was caught off guard and staggered backward. When he finally regained his footing, he heard a crack. The sword in his hand snapped and fell to the floor. Yu Shangrong crossed his arms as though he did not move at all. He only looked at Xianming indifferently. If this happened in the past, I would have taken your life. However, I know it's not easy for you to attain your current cultivation base. I hope that you'll take care of yourself. You. Xianming glared at Yu Shangrong. His sword arm was numb. He knew that he was up against an elite. He guessed that this was a helper invited by the Thousand Willow Monastery. As the saying went, revenge is a dish best served cold. The Flying Star House could wait, they were not in a hurry to see revenge, and they would bide their time. With these thoughts in mind, Xianming swallowed in indignance and said, Elder Tian, the Thousand Willow Monastery is truly something. We're leaving. A disciple picked up the broken blade. Taoist Master Xianming waved his sleeve and left. Farewell. Tian Buji cupped his fists. When they left, Tian Buji slammed the table, "They're insufferable bullies." Ji Fingxing seemed worried. "What do we do now?" "Big brother. The Flying Star House won't let this matter go." It was only now that Tian Buji studied Yushangrong. At the end of the day, the conflict between the Flying Star House and the Thousand Willow Monastery had nothing to do with this man. Even if Lu Song was not dead, this would still happen. Tian Buji was about to thank Yushangrong when Yushangrong said, "There's no need to worry." "Big brother? How can we not worry?" Ji Fengxing was stunned speechless. "He won't be going back." Yushangrong looked at Tian Buji meaningfully before he vanished out of sight and appeared outside the hall. In another flash, he disappeared again. Tian Buji immediately felt a chill run up his spine. His eyes widened as realization dawned on him. He hastily said, "Ji Fengxing, go and stop your big brother now." Meanwhile, the Flying Star House's Taoist master Xianming led his two disciples back. After they passed the mountain, Taoist master Xianming could no longer hold it back. He was furious. Preposterous. How dare Tian Buji humiliate me with outside help? I'll have him on his knees and begging for mercy next time. Taoist master, Tian Buji was rude. Clearly, he doesn't think much of the Flying Star House. Making him kneel is too light of a punishment. That swordsman is incredible. We should retreat for now. We'll have our revenge some other day. Xianming was filled with lingering fear when he remembered that sword. That sword is at least heaven grade. There are exquisite red runes inscribed on it. Indeed, he's an elite. Xianming's voice had barely faded when a figure appeared and blocked the trio's path. The person had a saber on the left side of his waist and a sword scabbard on the right. His hands were placed on his back. He looked at Taoist master Xianming and asked, "You met an elite swordsman?"